the affair here at the Bradley Center between the Bucks and the Knicks. Starting lineups for this afternoon. As the Knicks come in on the road, they've struggled on the road this season. Latrell Sprewell and Kurt Thomas at the forwards. Marcus Camby in the middle with Allen Houston and Mark Jackson at the guards. Jackson's played very well against the Bucks this year. Meanwhile, the Bucks still Glenn Robinson, not in the starting lineup, but after missing 14 games, he'll come off the bench. So Tim Thomas will start with Anthony Mason. Joel Prisbilla starting to play well in the middle. And Ray Allen and Sam Cassell at the guards for George Karl. Let's go over to Andrea Joyce.
All right, Mike, Glenn Robinson told me that the muscle in his left thigh is still weak. He does have his range of motion back, but it bothers him most when he's pushing off. Now, even though he doesn't expect to be 100% today, he was very pleased with the way his shot was falling at practice yesterday, saying, as long as I have arms, I know my shot will be okay. The toughest part for Glenn Robinson has been sitting on the sidelines. He is so anxious to return, Mike. He told me, I feel like today is the first game of my career. Back to you.
December 28th was the last time he played. And again, 14 in a row. So George Karl leaves him in the lineup, Tom.
Yeah, well, it's kind of interesting, too, because today feels like my first game because I'm starting the game sitting down, which is how my first game started. So it feels that way to me, too.
And a few others as well. For the Knicks, Don Chaney has had a rough go since taking over for Jeff Van Gundy. In fact, the last game Van Gundy coached this season was right here in Milwaukee. It was back on December 4th. It was maybe the best victory of the season for the Knicks. 85-71. They beat the Bucks. Since then, they have been a inconsistent team, to say the least. Our officiating crew, Eddie F. Rush, Jess Kersey, and Derek Richardson. Good crowd on hand as the interest in Bucks basketball has returned. Ray Allen blocked by Camby. And Mark Jackson with a rebound.
Well, I think one of the interesting parts of this game early on is going to be how the New York Knicks rebound. Not a very good rebounding team, but then again, the Bucks aren't a team that really crafts the offensive boards. Because I really think, in talking to Don Chaney yesterday, he wants his team to get out and run. He wants them to get out and score some easy buckets. They don't have the type of team that can grind it out in the half court.
They have really struggled at times in the half court offense. Cassell, nice feed inside, and Anthony Mason, they got caught on the pick and roll.
You know, look at Anthony Mason's numbers, and they're not eye-popping, but you know what? He's still second on the team in assists this year. He's not griping. He's not complaining. His attitude's been good. He sets very good picks. Yeah, I'm kind of impressed. I knew he wouldn't get the shots coming over here. I thought he might complain, but he hasn't.
Good ball movement. Sprewell misfires on the three. Wouldn't you say with Mason, though, it's numbers aren't why he's here. He's a defensive mindset, something this team really hasn't had.
No, there's no question about it. He's been on defensive teams his entire career. He's there to add toughness and a physical presence inside.
And he helped deflect that ball away right back to Tim Thomas, who on the second effort puts it in.
Well, Mason's a big guy, too. Looks like he's even put on a little weight this year.
Yeah, he's not in the best of shape.
I'm going to say if he was in that Donner Party, more of them would have made it. You know what I'm thinking? You think? I'm thinking they would have. I'm thinking it might not have been that big a deal after all.
Cassell gliding Mason. Ray Allen spotting up for three. Allen misfires. Allen has been really struggling from three-point range. He was 0 for 15, or the team was 0 for 15 on Tuesday, and Allen was 1 for his last 16 from that distance.
But when you struggle from three-point range and you take more than half your shots from out there, it affects your whole offensive game because now your driving lanes aren't open for you to get to the hoop.
Allen Houston knocks down the three. Houston had his career high against the Bucks earlier this season at Madison Square Garden. That was back in January. He had 44 in a Milwaukee win.
Well, you got to keep the ball out of his hands on the left side of the court. He loves the left side of the court, pick and pops, pick and rolls.
Kurt Thomas got a piece of that one. Knicks looking to push, as mentioned. Sprewell kicking it out. Sprewell left wide open, knocks down the three. As much as with Latrell Sprewell playing out of position at the small forward, sometimes he's matched up against guys taller, but it's very difficult for them to guard him because of his quickness.
Yeah, whenever you have a mismatch on one end of the court, you're going to get that back offensively. And certainly with Tim Thomas guarding him, you know, he can guard Tim. Tim Thomas wants to stay out there and dribble. Sprewell's going to love that because he's quicker, he can get out there and guard him. But if Tim wants to go post him up, then he might have some problems.
Sam Cassell knocks down a two. As we mentioned at the top, it's Ray Allen and Glenn Robinson that make the All-Star team. Cassell's never been there, but boy, has he been deserving sometimes. Sprewell rushed it, ball knocked out of bounds, and the Bucks will take it over.
And you're going to see right here a nice little pitch and catch. Houston just, boy, tee that one up for me. He had no one out there for him. You got to love that when you can shoot, no one's in your face. Although I loved Allen Houston's look-away pass. Usually don't see look-away passes when you're like 13 inches away from the guy. You're not really fooling anybody, but obviously I'm wrong. He fooled a whole bunch of people.
No one even close. And that's what drives Anthony Mason wild. Mason gets inside, misses a layup, can be the rebound. Mason's not happy with his teammates' lack of commitment on defense, and he's trying to get a mindset into them. Thomas. And Kurt Thomas knocks it down. He's coming off his best scoring game as a Knick, had 27 on Thursday night at the Garden against the Phoenix Suns. Przybilla and a foul. Cassell setting him up beautifully, and Joel Przybilla with a chance for a three-point play.
Well, Sam Cassell has been involved in all the plays, whether make or miss. He's getting the ball to the right people. And you see the drive right here to the baseline. Przybilla does a real nice job at giving himself up right there on the baseline, and the foul. Well, the guy wears number 6 in tribute to Bill Russell. I wonder if he snubs autograph signatures in tribute to Bill Russell as well. I don't know.
He hits the three-pointer. I think he's very kind to the fans,
okay.
Tom.
Just don't know.
From what I've heard. Przybilla coming off one of his best games, a 14-rebound game. Houston passed down low to Kurt Thomas. Nice adjustment, and Thomas able to put it in.
Well, that's a tough shot right there. I mean, that wasn't the greatest pass by Allen Houston, but he was able to catch and shoot in one motion and off balance.
Ray Allen can't connect. Allen's been in a shooting slump the last 2 games, but it's not from lack of trying to work his way out of it.
No, he's going to fire. The one thing when you're a shooter, you keep shooting because you know sooner or later you're going to start making shots, but you'd like to get a layup on the break, a foul, get to the free throw line, get something easy to get your confidence back.
Between practice yesterday and shooting around today, he's taken about 13,000 three-pointers. As Thomas can't put it in, ball knocked out of bounds, and the Knicks will get it back.
And you're going to see the pass right here. Houston coming off, Thomas setting the pick, and get bumped by Przybilla right there, and a real nice job of catching, getting bumped, taking the body contact, and going up and scoring it.
Jackson setting up Camby beautifully. Marcus Camby can't finish, but Kurt Thomas right there for the offensive rebound. Jackson. Houston, another 3. Allen Houston is second from downtown. The Knicks have hit 3 of them, and they have a 6-point lead.
Well, they're getting too good of looks. The guys are getting too open, and Sprewell and Houston are getting too good of looks at the bucket when you realize, okay, those are the 2 guys that can beat us. Those are the 2 guys we have to keep from getting the big numbers, and right now they're on their way to getting big numbers, and that's a way they can win the game.
Mason with 8 on the shot clock. Sprewell on him. Mason just going to barrel his way in for an easy 2. Smart recognition from Anthony Mason.
And smart recognition from Sprewell, too, getting out of the way. He didn't want any part of that, and I don't think I would either.
Thomas on Sprewell. Tough matchup. Camby gets inside. Rushed the shot, but he drew the foul. Knicks finding the open man down low, and free throws coming up.
And Sprewell actually trying to do a nice job on him. I mean, he's trying to get in there and battle, and right there he just says, okay, that's it. This is not going to work. Let him get his bucket, and I'll get out of here without injury.
There's Camby's numbers. Of course, missed the first 14 games because of the plantar fasciitis. Knocks down the first. Want to remind you to log on to NBCSports.com for in-depth coverage of the NBA. Check out Bill Walton's latest mailbag, which includes a look at whether one of the current Knicks might become the team's next head coach. Please email Bill your NBA questions, all at NBCSports.com. My guess is he's probably, although you never know with Bill, he's probably thinking about Mark Jackson.
I don't want to know what's in that mailbag. I'm sorry.
It's just mail. That's all. Przybilla gets inside. Mason, count it, and 1. Marcus Camby put a hand in, and Anthony Mason with a chance for the 3-point play.
Well, he's always been a player who's been very good inside, very crafty inside, able to use both hands. Przybilla right there slips the pick and roll, getting underneath, nice little left-handed pass, and then in one motion. And it was a pass that set him, whoa.
Strangest free throw in the NBA.
It's funky.
He's had an odyssey over the years of the different styles.
Well, I think when Don Nelson coached him in New York, he got that one-handed style.
Right.
And then it's kind of like the clutch and grab. It's like Jim Furyk up there at the line or something like that.
Houston hits another. Allen Houston off to a terrific start. He's got 8 points. Knicks lead by 5. We're just past the midway point of the opening period. Mason. Allen on the rebound.
And that's what you need. That's what you need to get you going. Real easy bucket. Get an offensive rebound, lay it back up. Now you got your 2 points. Now you get one in the hole. Maybe you start stepping out and feeling a little better about yourself.
He's got to defend down the other end as Allen Houston off to a good start. Misfires that one. Tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Kurt Thomas. And the Bucks will take over. Let's start off shooting well. 54% from the field while Allen continues to struggle in a 3-point game. Knicks by 3 in the early going. George Karl in his 4th year in Milwaukee. Last year the team won 52 games and lost to Philadelphia in the Eastern Conference Finals in 7 games. And Karl is looking forward to building on that, but he feels the momentum is not carried into this season.
I don't think we ever got a good ride out of last year. And to be truthful with you, that's the norm rather than the exception. Same thing happened when I was in Seattle, the first time we had success. The next year, we got complacent more than got excited. And I think that's what we're working on right now. We're trying to get the complacency out of our gig and get excited about we can be the best.
And I think he's right. I think that is the norm. I think guys are making so much money and they put a lot of effort into it. The off season, they're taking their vacations, they come back. They're not necessarily just thinking about what happened. Now, I'm sure as the season grows on, they're thinking, okay, we need to get home court advantage. We want to get back to where we were last year. But to come back with that same intensity, it's like after I played with the Clippers and we had 13 wins. I mean, it's hard to come back that next year and try to gear myself up to get 14. It was hard.
But you look at the Bucks, considering the injuries. Robinson's missed 14 games. Ray Allen missed 7. They're 26-15. It's the second best record in the East. It's the same exact record they had at the midway point last year. They're in good shape. And right now they seem to be, because Philly's been so up and down, the best team in the Eastern Conference.
Well, I would say New Jersey is probably the best team in the Eastern Conference, just the way they're playing. And Kidd means so much to that team. I mean, you want to talk about a guy you love to play for as a player. He'll find you when you're open. He can post, he rebounds, he plays D. But they got as good a shot as any.
Full zone defense here from Milwaukee. That last foul was on Sprewell, his first.
With the zone, you always want to try to get the ball to the middle of the court. Always try to get it to the middle, and that's where you find your guys open.
Camby, the offensive rebound, rushed the putback. Sprewell nearly tipped it in, but Mason comes away. Anthony Mason, of course, spent some time in New York, was a big part of their success in the 90s. Tim Thomas misses, and Jackson was a good rebounding point guard. Tried to thread the needle there, but Cassell deflects it. And Glenn Robinson will return. He's missed the last 14 games with a left thigh bruise and gets a nice ovation from the crowd.
And interesting who he's coming in for, too, for Sprewell. So they're going to go with a smaller lineup. Anthony Mason probably going to play the 5 unless they're going to stay in that 1-2-2 zone that they put in there.
Jackson with time for 3. That one in and out. And here comes Mason. Mason already with 4 rebounds. Trying to get on track. Nice move inside from Ray Allen. Explosive finish.
You think of him, a lot of times you think of him, okay, this guy's a three-point shooter. He's soft. He won't take it. But he'll take it and throw down on you. If you don't get up on him and you crowd him too much, he has the explosiveness enough to get to the hole. And when he gets there, he's not just going for a layup. Nice D.
But commits the foul. Wide-eyed at Jess Kersey. And Houston will shoot 2.
And you watch him, Thomas right there. He just turns the corner. And you're thinking, he might just try to lay you. No, he's not going to just try to lay it up.
Houston to the line now as Ray Allen picks up his first personal. Allen Houston's made his last 24 from the line. He's shooting 87% for the season, one of the best in the league. And he's averaging a career high, but he, like the Knicks, have been inconsistent. He's had some marvelous games, but he's also had some games where he has not brought the level of the team up to win. And obviously when you're so many games under 500, that's a big problem.
Yeah, the one thing that jumps out at me with Allen Houston is his shooting percentage, right around 44%. I mean, he's better than that. He's a better shooter than that. But because he's being asked to score so much, he's probably taking a lot of shots that maybe he shouldn't be taking.
Ray Allen misfires again. Allen now 2 for 6 from the field. Thomas picks up Houston on the switch. Wants to take him off the dribble. Gets inside. Tough shot. Won't go. Camby tries to keep it alive. But Glenn Robinson right there. Robinson looking to post up Mark Jackson on the switch.
You got to clear out. Let him have his room down there.
And his first shot's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, you get a point guard on you and you're 6'7". Don't stand around and congest it. Move away, get away from the ball handler. Let him, and then when somebody comes over and double teams, then he can find him.
Bucks back up by 1 after trailing by 6. Jackson with the little teardrop. Yeah, Jackson with his second field goal.
So he lived on that for about 15 years now.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Part of the reason the Knicks played well the last couple of games was Jackson was more aggressive offensively, looking for his shot. Robinson nearly threw it away. Thomas throws it in the backcourt, and the Knicks will get possession. Sam Cassell. That's the first turnover of the game as Cassell gives somebody up in about the 27th row something to cheer about. 2.5 to play here in the first. The Bucks at home down by 1. Knicks lead by 1 in Milwaukee here in the first quarter. It's been a wild week for the Knicks, one that started on Monday on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, where they lost by 43 to the Charlotte Hornets. Worst home loss in team history. And head coach Don Chaney, who's not one to publicly rip his team, did not mince words right after that defeat.
I thought tonight they threw in a towel. I really did. In that what happened was, when can't make a basket, can't do this, can't do that. I just thought they gave up. I really did.
And the tabloids were brutal, calling the Knicks quitters. Since then, they've responded. Had a big win in Toronto Wednesday night, and then in back-to-back scenario, came from behind to beat Phoenix Thursday.
Well, that's the worst thing to hear as an athlete, any type of athlete, that you quit, you didn't give any effort, you had no energy, you had no passion. You can deal with bad shooting, maybe not boxing out, not getting over on a defensive assignment, but when they say you quit, that'll wake you up. If it doesn't, nothing will.
Allen Houston wide open, and George Karl can't be happy with that defense. Houston's got 13 points here in the opening period. He had 24 in the fourth quarter the last time the two teams played. Knicks back up by 4. Although, that the phrase is Robinson puts up the shot. That phrase, we didn't play with energy, that's the catchphrase this year in the NBA.
Yeah, and it amazes me how you cannot come. Now, sometimes you'll get a certain player or two who has played 40, 45 minutes over the last week and he's tired. But for a whole team, hey, ouch, that hurt. This came in and Irvin Johnson said, I can't. Oh,
Allen with a turnover. A little stunned after the Camby dunk, and the second turnover from Milwaukee. Bucks very sloppy to start. And they've lost 2 in a row. 2 tough losses both here at home to Phoenix and Seattle, as Houston now has 15. Prior to these 2 losses, they had won 8 in a row. Were playing very well. A 9-0 run now by the Knicks. George Karl talking with our Andrea Joyce the pregame, saying that he gives them a C average. Nice Robinson pass. Cuts inside.
He can do a lot of things as a big man and a big man. He can do a lot of things as a big man. I mean, he can dribble the ball. Remember when with New York being a point forward, handling the ball, bringing it up the court. You've seen him already do it a couple times here. And then just a tremendous passer down the low block. But with a passer, you need a cutter, and Robinson was a cutter.
Sprewell can't find the range. Camby tracks it down.
A lot of great hustle by Camby. He's just tracking balls down, not waiting for them to come to him.
Irvin Johnson throws it back. Sprewell, though, has it. And it's stripped by Ray Allen. You see a little bit of the intensity being picked up now by Milwaukee. A 6-point Knick lead. Robinson gets by Sprewell. Probably looked pretty good that time.
That's a real nice move. That's a rested move right there. To get by Sprewell, there wasn't a lot of room on that baseline, and then use the rim as a shield. Get up under a pump fake, go up under, and a nice bucket on the other side.
Robinson has the last 6 points from Milwaukee. Now see Houston seeing some double teams. 2 on the shot clock. Sprewell not aware. He's not going to get it. Just gets it off in time. And Anthony Mason, good boxing out, grabs his 5th board. Shot clock turned off. Final seconds of the opening period. Sam Cassell at the buzzer, knocks it down. And just like that, the Bucks come back. A high-scoring first quarter from both teams. Well, the Bucks finish on a 6-0 run.
And you watch it, Cassell right here. What a great job. Whoop! Pump fake, because you think at the end of the half or end of the quarter, you're going to catch it and shoot it. What he did, he knew how much time he had left. Pump and go.
So Cassell knocks it down. Anthony Mason strong first quarter for the Bucks. Allen Houston 15 points for the Knicks. 2-point game after one. Milwaukee Bucks, one of the best three-point shooting teams in the NBA, currently third in terms of the statistics, but they are struggling to say the least in the last couple of games.
Well, in talking to Ray Allen a little bit yesterday, he's really into the mental approach of the game. We talked about basketball and about golf, and I think right now mentally he doesn't feel like he has the stroke that he needs. We saw him working after practice yesterday. He was out here early shooting shots, and you just tell, you look in his eyes, I don't know if he feels like everything that he shoots from beyond that arc is going to go in.
Well, he says he wants to just keep working at it because in practice you can think about it. He says in the games you don't want to think about it, you just want to play. Charlie Ward's come in for the Knicks along with Chandon Anderson. Michael Redd is in for Milwaukee. Anderson way off the mark. Robinson, quick shuffle pass to Cassell. Sam Cassell. And Redd the rebound. Redd, the second-year pro, is starting to make an impact on this team. George Karl giving him a lot of minutes. Robinson. Well, I bet George Karl says it's nice to have him back.
He is just a great shooter. Within 10, 18 feet, that mid-range jump shot.
Maybe the best mid-range shooter in the league.
He might be. I mean, he is just flat out, and he can get his shot off. He has a great release point, so even when you're right in his face, he's able to get a look at the bucket.
Houston spinning.
Where do you get your points from now? Fallon Houston is going to get you the points. Who gives you the points from the Knicks right now?
That's not the kind of shot they want. As the ball did hit the rim, Jess Kersey was going to call a 24-second violation. Let's see if the Bucks had actually had possession. Kersey blew the whistle to say 24-second violation, but Camby shot just grazed the rim. So the officials talking about it now. Don Chaney was quick to point that out. Now, if nobody had possession, it'll be a jump ball. But they may rule that Milwaukee had possession.
Well, I think they're definitely trying to figure out who had possession of the ball. You see right there, and the ball's going to change trajectory and go straight down. And the whistle blows, so guys give up right there. So now it's who has the ball. I think they have to go under the boot, don't they? I think George Karl threw out that red flag. Look at Jess Kersey underneath the hood. See if we can find out.
So they'll go with the jump ball. That's just what you need. Replay rule in the NBA. But clearly hit the rim. But Don Chaney saying that Chandon Anderson was the one that was able to secure the rebound, so he feels it penalized for a referee mistake.
Well, that's a bad tip. Tip it to Michael Redd, who is open. But when you have the tip, you want to get to a place where you have two guys squared off right there, and you can tip it between them and let either one of them go get it.
And Houston draws the foul on Glenn Robinson. Robinson picks up his first, and Houston will go to the line as Darvin Ham will check in for Anthony Mason.
Well, give Allen Houston credit for getting open and getting the ball. You see the pump fake right there, but the Bucks have to do a better job of not letting him get the ball in the first place. They have to deny him the basketball and realize he right now is their only legitimate scorer. You have to keep him from getting the ball.
And you see Houston's consecutive streak. It's the first. Reminder coming up next, game 2 of our NBA doubleheader. Karl Malone and the Jazz against Chris Webber and the Red Hot Kings. Jazz and Kings. Game 2 of our NBA doubleheader coming up next on NBC. Knicks 5 for 5. We'll check that 6 for 6 from the line. They lead by 2. Just over a minute gone by here in the second, along with Tom Tolbert and Andrea Joyce. Mike Breen on hand at the Bradley Center. Looks like it might be another sellout. Bucks basketball has returned in a big way here in Milwaukee. Nice shot from Michael Redd.
He is really smooth. He is smooth. He had a great senior season, a great junior season at Ohio State. Came out last year, didn't play a whole heck of a lot, but this year with the injuries, George Karl has asked him to step up and play. And when he's played, he's done a tremendous job.
Herb Thomas off the deflection. And Redd was a non-factor. This year he was in at times at crunch time, especially with the injuries. As Robinson hoists one up. Maybe good boxing out, and the Knicks come away.
That was one I'm catching and I'm shooting it. I'm just going to find a way to get this shot off and see if I'm hot. And that was a bad job right there. Irvin Johnson, you got to step up. When you get the pick and roll there, you have to step up. You can't leave your guard hung out to dry and let their best shooter get an uncontested jump shot.
Especially when he's feeling it. Houston 19 points here in the first half. And we've only played about 14 minutes. Robinson draws the foul on Charlie Ward. Ward picks up his first, and Robinson will shoot 2.
You I mean, watch right here, the pick and roll. And Camby sets a pick. And, I mean, Irvin Johnson's got to be able to step out and contest that shot a little bit, because that was too easy a look. And, yeah, I know you're worried about Camby slipping to the bucket, but, hey, take care of first things first. You got to trust your teammates will help you out on the back end.
I saw Sprewell there cheering on his teammate. Robinson missing the first. Sprewell just 1 of 9 from the field to start as he returns to his native land here, Milwaukee, and had about 70 tickets that he had to get today for family and friends.
One for each braid. Right there. I don't know if he has 70. I like the hair. The Predator? Nice. The way it comes,
Coming from a bald man.
Absolutely. Well, I had no choice in that matter. That was determined before I was born, my friend.
There you see Houston and the rest of the team. Houston again for 3. That one off the mark. Ball tipped and taken by Irvin Johnson. 2.5 gone by here in the second. 3-point Knick lead. Robinson doubled. Darvin Ham lost it, and Clarence Weatherspoon has just checked in. Weatherspoon wincing as he runs up the floor. Houston again. That one in and out. Houston upset with himself.
Yeah, he is just getting really, really clean looks right now. And I'll say it once again. You look at the Knicks roster, the team that's out on the court, and you say to yourself, well, let's let somebody else try to score. Make somebody else shoot, not this guy.
Robinson left open. There's going to be rust to his game, even though he had that terrific start. It's just to get the timing down after missing 14 games. See, Anderson passed up the 3. Shannon Anderson not feeling confident right now from downtown. He has struggled from that distance. Charlie Ward puts it in. Ward knocks it down. That's the 5th 3-pointer of the game for the Knicks, and they lead by 6.
Soft. I like that.
And George Karl not happy with his team's defense as Ward and Cassell go after the ball. They're former teammates at Florida State as the Knicks lead by 6 here in the second. Ray Allen trying to get on track as Camby kicks it out. Shot clock's at 18, so it will remain there. Knicks this year have not been a good road team. 5-15 away from the Garden, whereas the Bucks have been very strong at home. They were 13-2 at one point, and then, as we mentioned, lost the last 2 this week to Seattle and Phoenix. But still one of the best home records in the NBA.
You always want to go into the All-Star break with some momentum, too. You want to go into the break feeling good about yourself, not wondering why we lose last 3 out of 4. And great defensive play by Sprewell. Here comes the angry dunk. Oh, dang.
And a clear path foul is going to be called against Thomas. In that instance, he's probably better off just letting him get the layup, because now Sprewell will get 1 free throw, and the Knicks will take it out of bounds.
And he cheated us, too, out of the angry dunk. I always enjoyed the angry dunk by Sprewell. Just the face contorts and he gets up, and I definitely cheated us. But that's a situation where maybe he didn't want to see the dunk. He kind of lose sight of the fact that he's going to get a shot and the ball out of bounds, and he just kind of short circuit there for a second.
Sometimes those kind of dunks can ignite a player or a team, so from that aspect, maybe not a bad foul. Sprewell will take the 1 free throw, and now the Knicks will inbound. We changed that rule a couple of years ago in the clear path, so you get possession after the 1 attempt. 6-point Knick lead. They've led by as many as 8. Bucks have led by 2 at one point. Neither team pulling away here in the first half. Shot clock has now been reset to 21. Just over 2.5 remaining in the second.
Well, maybe Thomas figured, hey, I'll give them the free throw, but they still have to score. They have to score to make it worthwhile, and they don't.
There you go. Cassell on the steal, and Robinson lost the handle. Camby tried to block it. Nice adjustment from Glenn Robinson.
Those are one of those ones where you're just about to score 2, and you drop it, and you're going, and then finally you get it, and you go, Because there's nothing worse than having a sure 2 points, and then it just dissipates, like, poof, gone.
The veteran able to hold it together there. Houston able to put it in.
Boy, what a nice move.
Nice sound effects, by the way.
Well, I did that on the court. I really did. I've done it a few times. Probably not too many.
Used to do that at the free throw line. Ray Allen fouled. Now Houston will pick up the personal, and the Knicks in the penalty.
Actually, to be honest with you, I used to do it when they used to throw me the ball. It was so much fun. It was like, woo, they let me play with him. You see right there, that was nice. And you notice a double step right there, too. 1, he pivots, he turns, and then he stops and goes. It was a double pivot. He turned and saw himself he had the open.
Allen knocks down the first. Tomorrow at 2:30 Eastern, the Chevy Truck U.S. Snowboard Grand Prix with the 2002 Olympic Winter Games just under 2 weeks away. America's best snowboarders will flip, twist, and spin in the half pipe for the chance to compete in Salt Lake City. That's the Chevy Truck U.S. Snowboard Grand Prix tomorrow, 2:30 Eastern, right here on NBC.
Those guys are nuts, man. I want to try snowboarding one of these years. Look, like everybody keeps telling me, you're going to break your wrist. You're going to break your wrist if you snowboard. So maybe I won't.
Allen Houston puts it in again. Houston now with 23 points. Houston 8 of 12 from the field.
We got a mismatch down there.
Ray Allen. Camby gets right up. Terrific hustle from Marcus Camby as the Knicks will get it back. Allen had a wide open jumper, but Camby came out, and that's been one of the problems for the Knicks. They haven't closed out.
Well, that's just a situation, and you watch right here. I mean, this is pretty good defense. The pump fake, jump into the body, that is not an easy shot, but he's feeling so good about himself right now that everything looks like a good shot.
Houston fires again, knocks it down. Another three-pointer for Allen Houston. He's got 26 here in the first half, and the Knicks lead by 9.
Yemeni. Like I said, you may want to deny the basketball and not let him catch it in the first place, because when he catches it, he's in range.
Ray Allen inside, pretty pass to Tim Thomas. So Ray Allen struggling shooting the ball again, finding the open man. 7-point Knick lead under a minute to play in the second.
Yeah, I wonder who you're going to try to get the ball to. I'm going to take a wild guess here. I'm your color analyst for the day. Allen Houston, hey! How about that?
There's the double team, though. Dangerous pass nearly taken by Robinson. Shot clock down to 3. Sprewell hoists it up, and he knocks it in. Sprewell hasn't shot well, but he's got 12 points. The Knicks back up by 9.
2-for-1 action here.
Mason, tough rebound from Anthony Mason.
Now you go for one. Now you hold up and go for one and don't let them get it.
And a foul on the three-point attempt.
Or you know you're going to get fouled, so you get 3 free throws. Right there, I mean, there's only about a 2-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. And in those type of situations, I mean, my feelings are, don't let them get another shot. Do not let them, because even right here, if you make 2 free throws, they can go down and hit a 3 and they'd grab momentum again. Make sure they do not get another look at the bucket.
Foul on Camby, as you see his second. Robinson, as we said, missing 14 games with the thigh injury. Has got himself 14 points here in the first half. Again, on the three-point attempt, he gets the 3 free throws.
No one ever makes 3, do they? When they get fouled for a 3-point shot?
Yes,
Seems like they always make 2.
It happens sometimes.
We're going to find out here. I guess it happens. There you go.
I'm just so glad for you to get these new experiences in your life.
Well, now this is a situation where I would think if you're the Knicks, you got a 6-point lead, you have the momentum. Let's not shoot the ball until we absolutely have to and make sure we get the last shot of the half. The Bucks, if you don't score, that's okay, but do not give the Bucks an opportunity to score.
2 former Olympic teammates going at each other. Off balance shot that time. Irvin Johnson has it. Cassell, final seconds. That would count if it goes. But way off. Although Cassell not upset, as a couple of point guards enjoying some minutes together as we get to halftime here at the Bradley Center in Milwaukee. The story for the Knicks, Allen Houston with 26 points in the first half, and he's with our Andrea Joyce.
All right, thanks, Mike. Allen, what is it about this team that seems to bring out the best in you? The last meeting, 44 points already, 26 in the first half here.
I don't know. I just kind of take my time against this team. You know, we just try to do a good job of moving the basketball, and I'm just, you know, fortunately, I'm the recipient.
You guys have been up and down recently in your ability to close out games. What do you need to do to sustain this lead in the second half?
It's up to our intensity, how we move the basketball, and just continue to play together. But it really comes down to our intensity.
All right, good luck in the second half. Thanks. Back to you, Mike.
So the big first half for Allen Houston. Meanwhile, Glenn Robinson in his first game back since late December. 16 points for the Milwaukee Bucks. And Ray Allen continues to struggle, just 2 of 9 from the field. Halftime, Knicks lead by 6. Stay tuned for Ahmad Rashad, Jason Williams, Pat Croce, and Mike Fratello in our Olympic studios in Salt Lake City. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
Milwaukee, the Knicks lead by 6. I spoke to George Karl coming out of the locker room about defensive adjustments for the second half. He said they'll try Tim Thomas on Allen Houston to try to slow him down. He also feels like the Bucks have been giving up too many second chance baskets. Rebounding is the key for the second half as well. Back to you guys, Mike.
All right, Andrea, in that first half, Knicks out rebounding George Karl's team 23-21, including 8 offensive rebounds. Knicks are not a good offensive rebounding team, so that's not a good number for Milwaukee.
I think the scary part of your coach Karl is this team scored 57 points and only shot 43.8% or 44%. I hate when I got to put the decimal in. That just sounds dumb.
Jackson,
we call 44.
You can call it 44. Feed inside to Camby, and Camby fouled by Przybilla. Camby felt the contact and just flipped it up. And Mark Jackson with a good pass. And there you see some of the numbers. Knicks, of course, lot from out on the perimeter. Allen Houston, a big part of that, with 4 of 5 from downtown. Knicks from the free throw line, a perfect 10 for 10. Camby, of course, missed the first 14 games with that plantar fasciitis, and has been acting up lately, and he has not been effective, but he's playing. And some might say, what's the big deal? But for Camby, it's a big deal because he's had a lot of injuries in his career, and sometimes it's been questioned if he plays hurt. He's been playing hurt, and Don Chaney has been raving about that because Camby says the team needs me right now. Even though I'm hurt, I'm going to be out on the floor.
Well, he is their interior defense. He's the guy that causes guys to miss shots, causes guys to do stuff like they just did, because you're looking for Camby. He's not a big physical player, but he's a guy that alters a lot of shots and gets a lot of shot blocks down there.
Very unique player in the league with his abilities. Ray Allen with the steal. And Allen able to put it in. Mark Jackson with the turnover. A rare turnover for Jackson against the Bucks. He has had 2+ terrific games against Milwaukee this season. That time Allen with a good defensive play. Sprewell, quick shot. The outside shot wasn't working early for Sprewell, but knocks down that one. Knicks back up by 7.
Well, it's a pace you think that would favor the Bucks. They're a team that's 18-3 this year when they've scored over 100, and they like to get the game up into triple digits. But right now, the Knicks staying right with them.
Mason on the hitch. Przybilla the rebound.
Shoot it. Jeez.
Sam Cassell way off the mark. Bucks right now just not shooting the basketball the right way.
Well, you're 7 feet tall, and you have the ball 2 feet away from the bucket. I don't know. I mean, give it a shot. See what happens. I mean, you're right there. Don't pass it back out for a 25-footer when you have a 2-footer. And unselfishness is great, but that's taking it to an extreme.
Przybilla has been playing well for them. That time, though, cash in on the opportunity. Camby, and a foul on Przybilla. So 2 quick ones for him here to start the 3rd quarter. That's his 2nd personal. Knicks will inbound. 2 team fouls against the Bucks. Thomas on Houston now, and the length of Tim Thomas alters that shot.
Yeah, he's a guy, 6'8", can get out there and he can affect the shot a lot more than some of the smaller guys that have been guarding him, and he can make it tougher for him to get the ball.
Allen misses again, and Sprewell with the rebound. Ray Allen now 0 for 3 today from 3-point range, so he's missed 17 of his last 18 from that distance. Cassell on Sprewell, so George Karl mixing up the matchups a little bit to start the 3rd. Sprewell doubled and a travel. Good call and a good double team from Cassell and Allen.
Force him to make that decision. They didn't double him right away, but when he got in that scoring zone, then you come. Then you force him to make a quick decision. He wasn't able to make that decision before traveling.
2.5 gone by in the 3rd. Knicks lead by 7. Sam Cassell, tough shot. He's looking up at Eddie Rush saying, I got fouled. He just loves competing. We were saying this yesterday, and we've said this before, that if Sam Cassell he had a 9-to-5 job, he'd be in about 3 or 4 rec leagues, play outside ball on Saturday and Sunday mornings. He just loves to play. Tough shot from Sprewell, forced it. Przybilla helping out on defense. Here come the Bucks. And a blocking foul on Allen Houston, his 2nd.
You watch Sam Cassell. He does a great job of getting to the middle. He gets Mark Jackson on the hip. You see Jack right there, a little bit of a shove. He's like, come on now. It was there. You saw it, didn't you? You saw that elbow on my hip, didn't you? But he got the deuce, so I wasn't too disappointed.
Even if you're an official, it's hard to get mad at him as Allen can't connect. Ray Allen now 3 of 12 from the floor.
I think sometimes shooters, you get into that mindset that you're hoping it goes in instead of knowing it's going to go in. And I think he's there right now. He's shooting it not knowing that the basketball is going to go in, kind of hoping he can get it up there and go in the hoop. But he's just struggling. You rarely see him struggle this much.
Kurt Thomas throws in a wild shot. Mason played him perfectly, and Thomas able to knock it in.
Tip your hat or tip your do-rag to him, whatever you want. I mean, that was just, if he's going to make that shot, nice shot, buddy. Head on down the other end.
Nice give and go, and Mason with an easy 2. That's Sam Cassell working his magic.
Yeah. Well, the weak side defenders must have had gum on the bottom of their shoes or something. Because they just, I think Anthony Mason was surprised when he caught the ball. He was so wide open going to the goal.
5-point Knick lead. And Thomas with the bump foul. That's going to be number 3 on Tim Thomas, 3rd team foul.
And watch what Cassell does right here. Go for the shot. Well, that was a walk in the park right there. That was a nice pass by Cassell, but once Mason caught the ball, no defense, no resistance.
Kurt Thomas late coming over. Houston comes up, knocks it down. Allen Houston, his first bucket of the 3rd quarter now, 28 for the game. You know, the Knicks are a different team. They're not the great defensive teams that happened certainly in the 90s. Mason gets it inside. Nice move from Anthony Mason. And just slowly, they've lost some key players. Chris Childs traded last year. Larry Johnson retiring. These guys were a big part of their defense. So it's changed the identity of the team a bit as Don Chaney wants timeout. 4.5 gone by. 3rd quarter in Milwaukee. Bucks have now pulled within 5. Just under 2.5 to play 3rd quarter. Knicks lead by 8. Allen Houston getting some offensive help here in this 3rd period. He had the big first half, but now Kurt Thomas is helping him out.
Well, when you have guys who can score like Houston and Sprewell from the outside, it opens up lanes on the inside. And you see right there, there's not a lot of defensive help down low. When you're going up for the shot, they're saying, go ahead. If you can make those shots, take them. But we're not going to double team you and let you throw it out to Houston or Sprewell. We're going to make you make those shots. And so far, he's been able to do it. Thomas,
the last 3 games coming into today, 27 points, 13 points, 16 points. He's been on a nice offensive roll as he's starting to finally play consistently. And Robinson knocks down another mid-range jumper.
Nice shot coming out of the break. Just a little curl right in the middle there. Catch the ball, square, fire, bucket.
He's got 20 in his return. Got a real nice ovation in the first half from the fans when he first came in the game. He came off the bench today. Thomas again. Quick turnaround shot. Not that time. Rushed it. And Irvin Johnson the rebound.
Well, that shot's there for him if he wants it. Anthony Mason's not long enough to get up and really affect his shot. So if he can get good position and he wants to keep shooting that, that's certainly there for him.
Michael Redd. Ready move from Michael Redd. Little hesitation, then exploding to the basket.
Well, it's all about space. How do you create space for yourself to get off a jump shot? If you're a quick guy, you can use stutter steps. If you're a big guy, you use elbows and power moves. But you have to try to create that space for yourself to get off shots.
Mark Jackson felt there was a foul, but the Knicks turn it over for the 5th time in the period. However, they still lead by 4. Just under a minute and a half remaining. Can be trying to help this time. Sprewell, it's a tough matchup on the defensive end. Robinson just clearly can shoot over him.
Yeah, what happened is you get the ball down low and Canby comes over and double teams, but he just reestablished himself. He passed it back out, Canby left. Well, Sprewell's got to try to at least 3/4 or move him off the block. He reestablished position, then just got it and turned around and right over him.
Robinson now guarding Sprewell. 8 on the shot clock. Canby makes his move. Nice move inside, but he doesn't finish. And a loose ball foul is going to go against the Bucks and Sam Cassell. His enthusiasm is contagious.
Well, right there, Canby had come over and double teamed. So Robinson pitched it back out to Cassell, but he just went and reestablished himself, and Sprewell didn't fight him for that block. You have the double team come over, you don't want to let him just immediately reestablish, and that's exactly what happened.
Jackson 9 assists in the game. This is his first free throw attempt. And both teams kind of strange weeks. The Bucks earlier this week had an 8-game winning streak, then they dropped 2 in a row. The Knicks had an 8-game losing streak and have won 2 straight. Both teams at the midway point in terms of record. The Bucks, the identical record they had last year after 41 games. The Knicks have 9 less wins, as it's still going to be Buck ball.
Really? I came off Cassell's knee.
Kurt Thomas yelling at Eddie Rush.
Well, let me see that. I know that rocketed right off Sam Cassell's knee, and Jackson did not. It didn't look like he touched that ball. I'd be upset too. Coming down the court right there, you're going to see go off the knee. Yeah.
Yep.
That only missed Jackson by about 3 feet.
Eddie Rush missed that call. Didn't want to hear from it as Camby commits the foul down low. Jackson still talking with Eddie Rush, but Rush doesn't even want to listen to him. And Jackson's the type of player, he doesn't make it a point to continue on something unless he's pretty certain about it.
Yeah, well, I want to know what Eddie Rush would have to say. I mean, where does he, I want to know where he thinks Mark Jackson touched the ball. Because that was apparent. That was very clear. And then it was 2 feet away from him, a good 1.5 feet away from him. And not only did they get the ball back, what did they do with it? They get points out of it. Or maybe get points out of it.
Camby picks up his 3rd foul. 35.6 seconds remaining. Cassell with his normal all-around game. Knicks have led by as many as 8 here in this period. Currently a 3-point advantage. The Bucks have quieted Allen Houston. He had 26 in the first half. Has just 4 in the 3rd quarter. Michael Redd on him right now. Jackson for 3. Camby comes flying in and gets it out to Jackson.
What a great play. Unbelievable. Getting up over everybody on the run and able to secure it and get it out to your teammate.
Sprewell felt he was fouled. Took the shot a little bit early as the shot clock was turned off. Pass deflected by Houston. Jackson heaves it. It'll count if it goes. And manages to hit the backboard. And that will end the 3rd quarter here in Milwaukee. Allen Houston leading all scorers with 30, but just 4 in the 3rd quarter. Glenn Robinson, meanwhile, his first game back since December the 28th, has come up big with 22 points. 4th quarter coming up next. The Knicks lead the Bucks by 3. We'll be right back after these messages and a word from your local station. You're watching the NBA on NBC. This one's been close throughout here at the Bradley Center. Neither team with a double-digit lead. As right now, the Knicks have 3-point advantage as we begin the 4th. Michael Redd. Robinson inside. Nice left hand. Redd sets it up with a penetration, though.
And it'll be interesting to see what happens if and when the Bucks can take the lead, because the Knicks have had the lead for the preponderance of the game. What happens now if you're the Knicks? They've closed within 1. They've been able to hold them off. Can you continue to hold them off? Go to your guy and see what he can get done. And the Bucks come with a double team, which isn't a bad idea.
Camby puts it on the floor in traffic and has it knocked away. And here comes Milwaukee. 1-point Knick lead. Robinson. Wild shot. Thomas. He was hoping perhaps for a foul. Sprewell puts it in, rattles home a 3. Big bucket from Latrell Sprewell. And the Knicks back up by 4.
Every time they've been able to get close, they've been able to come up with the big shot. Now it's going to be, can you come up with a big shot, or do they come up with a big stop?
Redd. Camby the rebound, and a nice outlet to Houston. Marcus Camby with 16 boards. Sprewell knocks down another one. Back-to-back threes for Sprewell, and just like that, it's a 7-point game. And George Karl quickly wants to stop the momentum as he makes a full timeout call. Sprewell with 20 points now has been struggling from the field, but he begins the 4th quarter with a couple of 3-pointers. Just over a minute gone by, final period. Knicks a 7-point advantage. Ray Allen missed 13 of his first 16 shots, but has suddenly come alive here in the 4th.
Put him in a tailor-made commercial because he's founded his game. You see him right there at 3, and Sam Cassell setting him up again. And he says, boy, this is the way it should be all along. Kurt Thomas did a nice job getting out, but now you got 3 options if you're the Bucks. The way Ray Allen's shooting the ball, and if you're the Knicks right now, probably thinking try to get the ball to Allen Houston on the wing or the top of the key and see what he can do with it. Of course, it's nice to have as a second option that can get you 20-plus points in a quarter.
The Knicks led by 11 with just under 4 minutes remaining, and this place was quiet. But since Allen erupted, so has the crowd, and it's a 2-point game with a minute and a half left. Bradley Center was like this last year throughout the postseason, and it's become very loud all of a sudden here this afternoon. Houston drives on red. Camby, lefty layup, won't go. Tipped by Thomas, misses. And here comes Allen and the Bucks, looking for their chance to tie it or their first lead since the first quarter. Red off the dribble. Oh, inside, and an offensive foul on Michael Red. Marcus Camby stepped in and drew the charge. Camby apparently above the restricted area, but it looked like there was some movement.
Nice job right here, and he gets out. Now that's a bad call.
Yeah,
that's a bad call. He was sliding to the right, and the whole body was leaning to the right. If I was Michael Red, I'd be upset too.
Under a minute to play. Camby was above the restricted area, but just the movement at the end caused the foul. Sprewell on the pull-up. And Mason with another rebound. Anthony Mason's 15th board of the game. Camby, though, takes it away from him. Mason rarely careless dribbling the ball that time with the turnover.
Get the ball to your point guard. I mean, it's 38 seconds left in the game. Let him get the ball and bring it up.
There's about an 8-second difference between the shot and game clock, so the Bucks don't have to foul. Jackson, and a foul call on Cassell with 7 left on the shot clock. And Milwaukee in the penalty, so Mark Jackson, who's 2 for 2 from the line today, will shoot 2. Cassell picks up his second.
See him bumping him down, banging him down. I guess it's hard to tell, but he must have come up underneath and got a piece of the wrist. That caused the pass to be intercepted by Allen.
Huge free throws. Jackson 76% from the line this season. And the Knicks lead is 3 with 15.2 remaining. Milwaukee still has 1 timeout left. Neither team with a foul to give. And 2 clutch free throws from Mark Jackson gives the Knicks a 4-point lead. And George Karl staring at the official Derek Richardson, upset about that offensive foul called on Michael Red. And the Knicks with a 4-point lead. Milwaukee and many expected to battle in the East this year. Bucks well up above in the Eastern Conference. Knicks though have been struggling, but very impressive today. However, 4-point lead, 15.2 to go. Bucks are out of timeouts. What do they need to do?
Well, you need to get the ball to Sam Cassell, let him penetrate, and then spot up your 3-point shooters. You don't want to just pass the ball around and jack up a 3. You want it to come from the inside. So whoever you feel like your best penetrator is, Michael Red, Sam Cassell, get him the ball, probably Sam Cassell, let him drive, and then you spot up your shooters. Because you can go 2 for 1 right here, or you can go a quick 2, foul, and then still have a 1-possession game. No sense of just jacking up a 3 with somebody right in your face.
You need the 2 scores, so if you get that quick layup, it's certainly the play, and the Knicks have to guard against that. But Cassell this is where Sam Cassell can be at his best. Good ball denial from the Knicks. They have trouble getting it in. Finally do so to Ray Allen. And Cassell fakes the 3-point. A lot of time going off the clock. Knicks doing a good job. Robinson's 3 won't go. And they're going to call a goaltend on Marcus Camby. It did not appear the ball was anywhere close to the rim. Looks like it was not have a chance to go in. I don't think that should be goaltending. It's hard to tell from that angle. That's short of the rim. But no, on that second time, that's above.
I think that may have grazed the front of the rim. Now, certainly that ball was not going in the hoop, but just the mere fact you put your hand up there and grab it before it has a chance to hit the rim, that's going to get you 3 points if you're the Bucks.
A key on a goaltending call, if it doesn't have a chance to go in, then it should not be goaltending. But that one was going to hit the rim.
Yeah.
And you can never tell off the bounce, so that's a good call.
Well, exactly. That ball probably wasn't going to go in, but we use the word probably. Maybe it hits and kicks up off the glass, comes back down, takes some funky bounce, and goes in. But that's just not being mentally right by Marcus Camby. You can't reach up and grab that ball before it hits the rim.
I mistakenly thought it was way short, but it wasn't, and the official's right on top of the play. So a goaltend on a three-point attempt from Robinson. Canby with a mental lapse there, and it's a one-point game with 7.2 remaining. So the Knicks will inbound. The Knicks still have 1:20 timeout. The Bucks will obviously try and deny the inbounds path. For the Knicks, it looks like they're going to have to hit some free throws before this one's over. And even if they hit a couple of free throws, the Bucks could tie it. The only problem for Milwaukee right now is they are completely out of timeouts. So it's not like they can, after the Knicks shoot free throws, get the ball down on their front court.
Well, I think first and foremost, if you're the Bucks, you double team Allen Houston. You don't let him get the first pass coming out of the inbound. Then as soon as anybody else gets it, you immediately foul. Don't single up Allen Houston. He is their best free throw shooter. You know that's who they're trying to get the ball to. Put two guys on him. Then when someone catches it, you hack immediately.
And there you see the free throw shooting. Knicks with some good free throw shooters out there, except for Marcus Camby. Camby will stay out on the floor. Meanwhile, the Bucks, who missed their first 10 from three-point range, have hit 5 of them here in the fourth quarter, including that goaltend call. 7.2 seconds remain. Knicks clinging to a one-point lead. Both teams in the penalty. So any Milwaukee foul will put the Knicks on the line. And they're not set. The timer not set. Eric Richardson making sure that Jackson has the ball. Mason guarding the inbound pass. Smart move, have Mason do that. And the Knicks have to use their 22nd timeout. Good ball denial from the Bucks. Now the Knicks are out of timeouts and now must get the ball in.
Did a great job. Houston actually tried to go low and then come back off the screen and get high, and they just switched it. And that's what you do in this situation. You know who they want to get it to. You're going to deny. You're going to take two guys if need be to keep the ball out of Houston's hand. You see other guys can shoot free throws on this team. Sprewell, Thomas, although Jackson's inbounding the ball. And ideally, you'd like to have the worst free throw shooter catch it. You're probably not going to get that, but at least keep it out of the best free throw shooter's hands. The guy that's made 26, 28 in a row, do not let him get to the free throw line. Which
Houston has done. But a key move here from George Karl, putting the wide body Anthony Mason on the inbounds, making it very difficult for Mark Jackson. Well, we'll try it again. 7.2 remaining. Knicks by 1. Both teams now out of timeouts. Both teams in the penalty. And both teams desperate for a victory. Houston has it. And a foul call on Ray Allen. George Karl screaming. And the reason was because Allen Houston was in the front court, and then when he caught it, moved into the back court. You're allowed to go into the back court to catch it, but you have to establish position in the back court first. And Houston had not done that.
Well, the key is here, did he have possession in the front court before he goes to the back court? See him catching the ball right there? Boy, that's tough. Because everything has to be in the front court. And you see the pass right there, and he... Now, I'm not sure if they're saying that foot was on the line, so everything was in the front court, but I know what George Karl's saying.
Meanwhile, Houston, who's hit 28 consecutive free throws, has 2 clutch ones right here with 5.2 remaining. Knocks down the first. Bucks again are out of timeouts. Let's take one more look. You have to establish position in the backcourt, and it didn't appear he had. Again, you can go in the backcourt, but if you're established back there, that's okay. But Houston had front court position. That was a rule they just changed this year where you're allowed to go into the backcourt on that particular situation. But again, the key is establishing it. So a 2-point Knick lead. This is a very big free throw. Houston puts it in. Bucks out of timeouts. Final seconds. Ray Allen looking up. Foul. Gets a great look at it. And it's good! Ray Allen ties it with 5/10 of a second remaining. What a finish here in Milwaukee. The Knicks have to inbound. The Bucks are celebrating. Knicks can get a shot off. Marcus Camby looking down the court. Lobs it down to Shandon Anderson. Anderson puts it up, and the shot would not have counted. He did not get it off in time, and we've got overtime here at the Bradley Center.
Now, how in the world do you watch Ray Allen, who's made not 1, but 2, but 3 threes in a row, drive right by you. Why not grab him with 2 seconds
You've
left?
got to foul him in that.
Come
The Knicks have had nightmares all season long by huge three-pointers in the final seconds killing him. So they've had experience, but they let Allen drive by. All Camby had to do is wrap her arms around him and put him to the line for 2. So another bad defensive lapse for the Knicks, and we've got 5 minutes of OT.
Well, you want to talk about a great look. Watch right here. Grab him. That's a great move, but Camby's getting out of the way. He's like a little beltway for you. Am I in your way? Well, excuse me, let me move. And that is just a great look right there with 2 seconds left. What's wrong with, I'll grab him, you can shoot 2 free throws, we can get the offense or defensive rebound, game is over. I've never understood with under 3 seconds left and you're down 3, and that's the only thing they can do to tie you, that they can get off that type of look. Now, give Allen all kinds of credit. That was a nice, back behind the back dribble. He got himself free, but he should have never been in a position to shoot that shot. Never.
You can't get a better look in that situation. No. And Ray Allen, who was horrible shooting the basketball for the first 3 quarters, he was 3 for 13 from the field, erupted here in this 4th period. Now, a thriller at the Bradley Center as we go to overtime. Knicks and the Bucks even. Bucks were down 11 points with under 4 minutes remaining in this game and came back and tied it up as Ray Allen knocks down a 3 in the final seconds.
We want to talk about some long-range shooting in the 4th quarter. Sprewell starts it off. Allen finishes it. Let's play an extra stanza.
Sprewell had 21 points in the 4th quarter. Ray Allen had 14 points in the 4th quarter. And now we've got a 5-minute overtime. So they win the tip off of Camby. Cassell, not a good shot. Ray Allen the rebound. He's tied up. Anthony Mason. Allen has found the stroke. Not that time, and Sprewell the rebound.
Well, interesting lineup they have out there. They had Glenn Robinson playing the power forward, Mason playing the center. So small lineup, so you got to be sure everybody on the Bucks, shot goes up, you got to block out.
Sprewell, a 3, puts it in. Latrell Sprewell again. Sprewell with his 7th three-pointer of the game. He had 5 in the 4th quarter, and the Knicks back up by 3. Allen. Jackson.
You almost expect it. Stop it.
And a loose ball foul called against the Bucks.
Oh, my. I mean, that's just... You're right in his face. And just mugshot is what he's doing to you. And nothing you can do about that.
Knicks are 1-1 in overtime games this year. The Bucks are 2-0. Jackson left open for a moment. Shot won't go. And Anthony Mason with his 16th rebound. Glenn Robinson wants the ball, telling Cassell, get it to me.
Yeah, he's going to face him up.
Nice move from Robinson. On the reverse, blew right past Comet, and no help defensively.
Yeah, the matchup before, he was having smaller guys guarding him. Now he has Thomas on him. He's going to move out just a little bit, face up, and that allows him room to work.
Glenn Robinson has 34 points in his first game back since December 28th. Sprewell comes right back with the answer.
And that's what you do as a counter. A counter to the three-point shot. Guys are going to move up a little bit, press you out by the stripe, show them the ball, right by, one big dribble, bucket.
Sprewell has 40. Cassell misfires. Camby the rebound. Camby has 18 boards. Some terrific numbers put up by individual players in what has been a thrilling game here at the Bradley Center. Allen on Sprewell. Cassell looking to double team as soon as he puts it on the floor. Here comes Mason now. Sprewell tied up, 3 on the shot clock. Has to put it up, puts it in. Everything going down for Latrell Sprewell. He's got 42 and the Knicks lead by 5.
That bucket's like the Atlantic Ocean for him. Just throw it up, it's bound to fall in.
Cassell trying to create some space. Michael Redd, the 3. Redd comes right back for the Bucks. And it's a 2-point Knick lead with 2.5 to play in overtime.
That was fun basketball. This is a fun game to watch. Guys making shots, guys taking shots, being able to, this is good basketball.
Another standing ovation from the sold-out crowd. Sprewell draws the foul. No, they're going to call an offensive foul. Eddie Rush says he lowered the right shoulder. Sprewell waiting to state his case. And Sprewell saying that's a horrible call. He's doing it in a calm manner. I don't know.
He's trying to draw the fouls, what he was trying to do, jumping in to Ray Allen. And generally, that's a no call, if anything else. Usually they won't give that to the offensive player, offensive foul. So that's a tough call to go against you.
2 minutes remaining in overtime. Knicks lead the Bucks by 2. Allen trying to find some space. Sprewell pokes it away and comes up with a steal. Sprewell going at Michael Redd. Kurt Thomas tip won't go. Thomas again lost it. Jackson picks it up and they'll bring it back out. Allen Houston, that's a 3. No go. And Mason with a rebound. Here come the Bucks trailing by 2. Cassell ties the game. Sam Cassell with a big shot. And it's all even with 1.5 minutes to play in overtime. They are delirious here at the Bradley Center. End-to-end action. Knicks and the Bucks even in overtime. We'll be right back after these messages. And a word from your local station. You're watching the NBA on NBC. Individual efforts. Latrell Sprewell. 28 of those 42 in the fourth quarter in overtime. Glenn Robinson, first game in a month with 34. Mason, 18 points, 17 boards. So many players making big plays, and we're tied in overtime with under 1.5 minutes remaining. Sprewell for 3, puts it in. Latrell Sprewell with 45.
Oh my goodness. It's like the mask. Somebody stop me.
His 8th three-pointer of the game. Robinson misfires on that one, and Sprewell the rebound. Knicks leading by 3 with 1 minute to play. Sprewell has been absolutely brilliant in the fourth quarter in OT. They go to him again. Allen trying to do something. Gets inside on a travel. Move the pivot foot, and the Bucks get it back.
There's just nothing you can do here. It really isn't. I mean, you're right in his face, and he's just telling you, thanks for coming. The guy is radar locked in right now. Hands in his face, nor hands in his face. He's just making all kinds of shots. And even that last one, he got called for a travel. He made that one.
Timeout called by Milwaukee. They'll have the ball when we return, down 3 in overtime. One of the most exciting games in the NBA this season in overtime. Knicks leading by 3 with 46 seconds remaining. Coming up next, we've got the Kings and the Jazz from Utah. From the Delta Center, but this one far from over. Latrell Sprewell has 45 points. Glenn Robinson 34. They've been raining threes here at the Bradley Center. Camby picks up Allen off the switch. They go to Glenn Robinson. Jackson on him with a mismatch. Robinson misses, a rare miss in there, and a loose ball foul call against the Milwaukee Bucks. Originally, Eddie Rush said stay here, but then he just had the wrong team, and he says it's against Milwaukee. Anthony Mason is 3rd. Bucks had a foul to give, so the Knicks will inbound. 34 seconds remaining. Knicks lead by 3.
Don't want to foul here. Just play good, solid defense. This situation, too, if you're the Knicks, you know they're going to want to bleed the clock down to about 5 seconds, 4 seconds. And a lot of times teams will get off a bad shot when they do that. So just play good D. If they miss, you're still 1 possession away.
Jackson against Cassell. Jackson spinning, gets inside, kicks it out. Allen Houston, a 3-pointer. No good. Cassell the rebound with 10 seconds remaining. Houston was wide open. The Knicks have a foul to give. Ball knocked out of bounds. Anderson tried to foul Robinson, but the ball went out, so no foul was called. And with 5.3 remaining, the Bucks will call timeout. So Milwaukee is now out of timeouts. They'll inbound with 5.3 remaining. Obviously, they need a 3. But the Knicks have a foul to give, something they did not take advantage of at the end of regulation.
Well, what you do in 5 seconds, you kind of get into that area where, you don't foul right away just to put a guy on the line. But if you get somebody coming off a screen, you're a big guy, they put you in a bad way, meaning you have to guard the smaller guy, you just wrap him up. You don't let him get off a 3 like you did last time.
So, again, with the foul they give, they foul right away. And then even on the second one, they should foul again to make sure a 3-pointer doesn't get up. Knicks come in winning 2 in a row. They're coming off one of the worst performances in franchise history on Monday. In New York, they were branded quitters, but they bounced back with 2 impressive victories this week against Toronto and Phoenix. And now with a chance to make it 3 in a row. The Bucks, meanwhile, were on a roll. They had won 8 straight prior to this week. Then have dropped 2 in a row as Ray Allen and his team have struggled from the field. But the Bucks coming alive here late in the fourth, down by 11 points with just over 3.5 minutes remaining in regulation. Allen knocks down some key threes, and they send it to overtime where we are right now. The end of regulation, the Knicks were up by 3. The Bucks inbounded in their backcourt. Allen all the way up, and inexplicably the Knicks didn't foul, and he knocks down the 3, and that's why we're in the extra period.
We immediately foul right here. As soon as somebody catches it, you have that foul to give, so you foul immediately. Go ahead, Mike.
You have to be careful that you don't foul in the act of a three-point shot. Allen, and there's the foul from Camby with 3.7 remaining. Of course, fittingly it goes in, but it won't count. Camby, meanwhile, is fouled out of the game. Camby with 18 rebounds coming up big for Don Chaney. And now they will inbound again with 3.7. Again, Knicks up 3. The wise thing would be to foul immediately.
Yeah. And watch the inbounder, too. Watch him kicking it in and then right back out to Ray Allen.
They inbound to Red. Red gets off a 3 and he puts it in. I don't believe it. 1.4 remaining. And we're tied again. Mark Jackson at the buzzer. Second overtime coming up. One of the most amazing finishes we've seen in a long time. First in regulation, now in OT. The Knicks had a timeout, didn't use it. But again, why not foul in that situation?
They're right in the corner right there, and that's the situation where it looked like Anderson wanted to foul, but he got there too late. Hey, when you know a team needs a three-point shot, switch everything. You switch out. Who cares if they catch the bucket or catch the ball 5 feet away from the bucket? Everybody should be around the three-point line. Any picks, you switch on picks. They catch the ball, you wrap them up. Nobody should be that free. Nobody should be that free at the end of the game to shoot a 3. First of all, you should foul, but secondly, if not, you're going to have a guy right in his face, and that's a great look. That's a great look in the first quarter, let alone to tie the ball game and send it into double OT.
It happened at the end of regulation where the Bucks tied it with a three-pointer. Second overtime in Milwaukee. Some terrific performances as the Knicks and Bucks tied at 117. The Knicks at the end of regulation and at the end of the first overtime inexplicably not fouling and allowing the Bucks to get off three-point shots to tie it and force another period.
Well, I think you got to put Chaney on the hook for that one. There was enough time to tell your guys, look, it's happened once. That was quick. This time it doesn't happen again. There's no reason Shannon Anderson should have sucked into the middle. He should have been out guarding the three-point line. They get it too. Who cares?
Ray Allen off the mark, and Houston the rebound. You don't know, Chaney may have told him. They have said it several times in the huddle. Don't give up a 3. Sometimes you say things and it doesn't work. Jackson with the little floater.
Well, that's when you need a prod. One of those cattle prods. make them listen.
I think a cattle prod may go over the line.
Yeah. But maybe Players Association might frown on that.
Michael Redd gets inside, blocked by Weatherspoon. Clarence Weatherspoon in the game because Marcus Camby is fouled out. Knicks without their best rebounder in the second overtime. Cassell battling against Jackson. Jackson flips it up, shot, good again. Mark Jackson, back-to-back buckets, and the Knicks lead by 4.
And you'd love to come over and double team, but Mark Jackson is such a good passer down there that if you do, he's going to find Sprewell, he's going to find Houston, and you'd rather have him taking shots than those two.
And Cassell fouled. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Weatherspoon is second.
Well, this is one of the moves that got the Indiana Pacers to the finals against the Lakers. Back down, back down. Well, because of the new rules, you can't do that anymore. But you see right there, Mark Jackson, you give him 2 dribbles. He's strong enough down there that he can back in and get a shot from 8 feet. And like I said, though, you go and you double team, then you're leaving guys up behind the stripe.
Cassell hits it. Jackson has had great games against the Bucks this year. He's got 12 points, 15 assists. You look at Cassell's numbers. Cassell making big plays down the stretch. The Bucks were down 11 with 3.5 to go in regulation. They were down by 5 with 2.5 to go in overtime. And here in the second overtime, immediately down by 4, but now pull within 2.
Well, let's see what they do here. They're going to go to the same play.
And there's the foul call on Sam Cassell, who agrees with the call.
Well, he's trying to get leverage. He's trying to get leverage to keep Mark Jackson upright. Well, let's see what they do. If they go back to that, do you let him back him in and let Sam Cassell guard him by himself? Do you switch off? maybe let Michael Redd guard him, or do you come and double team?
Don't forget, coming up next, it's the Jazz and the Kings from Salt Lake. Good luck trying to top this one with those two teams after what we've seen. Allen Houston double team. Good defense from Michael Redd on the help. Ball knocked out of bounds. Houston just got hammered as they knocked it out of his hands. And the Bucks get it back.
We may go straight from this game to the opening ceremonies. Are you kidding?
2-point Knick lead. Under 3.5 to play in the second overtime. Mason against Weatherspoon. Ray Allen. And Weatherspoon with a tough rebound in traffic. And Jackson says, let's go up the floor. Fatigue has to start being a factor. Sprewell's played 51 minutes. Jackson going to try Cassell again. Sprewell fakes a three. Spinning. Trying to get free. 2 on the shot clock. Has to put it up. Won't go. Rebound tip. Nearly put in. Weatherspoon knocks it loose. And Cassell comes out with it. Cassell, who's played 53 minutes, charging up the floor. Ray Allen, nice shuffle pass. Mason now makes his move. And he draws the foul. And Mason will go to the line where he's just 2 of 5 today, with 2:35 remaining in the second overtime, and the Bucks trailing by 2.
Boy, rebounding is so important right now. You look at the lineup they have out there. Mason may be the tallest player at 6'7". You got Spoon, Witherspoon at 6'5", Shannon Anderson at 6'4", Sprewell 6'4". So when that ball goes up, you have to box out and have to get rebounds.
Mason has had a superb game. 18 points, 17 boards, 6 assists, but he's now missed 4 free throws. So Marcus Camby on the bench with the 6 fouls. And Glenn Robinson, they negate it. Robinson with a lane violation. Oh, again, a mental lapse this time. Mason finally hit a free throw, but Robinson trying to time it, obviously mistimed it.
It looked like a pickpocket sneaking up behind him is what he did, but that's your own player. I mean, you have to know that's what he does. You play with him. If it's the Knicks falling in, maybe you understand it. But just total lack of concentration when your own player gets in there before you even let the ball go.
We've seen some great plays, but some mental mistakes. Jackson for 3. Bang! Mark Jackson from downtown. And the Knicks now up by 5 with 2:13 remaining. Almost the same position as the first overtime. Bucks were down by 5.
Right where the Bucks want to be.
Mason gets inside and he's hacked by Anderson. Smart foul from Chandon Anderson.
Oh yeah, send him to the line. You're not going to give him 2 points. Make him earn both of them. And you see right here, it's been all about the Knicks' 3-pointers in the second half. Most notably Sprewell, but right there, Sprewell does a real nice job driving and knocking over Jackson's defender. Give him an assist and a half for that one. And then Jackson spotting up and nailing the 3.
Mason again knocks down that one, and Glenn Robinson wisely stays on the lane. Don Chaney wants timeout as he'll talk it over. Still lots of time left in the second overtime in what has been a marvelous game here this afternoon in Milwaukee. 2:06 left in the second overtime. Knicks lead by 4. Bucks with another free throw coming up. Fans certainly have received their money's worth here this afternoon in Milwaukee. Knicks leading by 4 here in the second overtime. Still lots of time left as Mason will shoot a second free throw. The Bucks have not had the lead since the first quarter. They've tied it several times, obviously, but have not been able to get the lead. Mason comes back. Well, that'll tell you something about Mason. Comes right back and knocks down 2 free throws. Sticks his tongue out as he backs up the floor. 3-point Knick lead, under 2 minutes to play in the second OT. And you wonder about, again, fatigue, like a Glenn Robinson. Hasn't played in a month. And here he plays in a 2 overtime game. Jackson, tough shot, won't go. Michael Redd the rebound.
You know what Cassell did that time? Forced him to the baseline. He didn't let him come to the middle. Made him go the opposite way, and he wasn't able to kiss that one off the glass.
Robinson, the jump shot. Mason, the rebound, and a loose ball foul call against Mark Jackson. That's going to be his 3rd. And the Knicks in the penalty, so Mason will go back to the line again.
Well, with the small lineups they have out there, Anthony Mason certainly has an advantage inside on all rebounds. That was a real nice catch, kick out to Glenn Robinson, and then establish position down there and grab the rebound. Because there's nobody outside of maybe Witherspoon that can battle him underneath the boards.
Let's see how Mason fares this time at the line. How about a game with all these great shooters and these three-pointers? It might come down to Anthony Mason's pitch free throw deciding it.
He holds on to it longer than Ray Guy's punts used to stay in the air. I mean, it's like...
And Mason, 4 straight free throws to pull the Bucks within 1. And yet another standing ovation here at the Bradley Center. Michael Redd now defending Jackson. Cassell is on Shandon Anderson. Houston, tough shot. Robinson, the weak side rebound. Bucks with a chance to take their first lead since the opening quarter, but they have hung tough all afternoon. Ray Allen, a quick three. Fight for the rebound, and Sprewell comes away with it. Weatherspoon did a good job battling Robinson. Under a minute to play here in the second overtime.
Well, you want to take a shot here, and you want to leave yourself enough time to where you know you get the last shot of the game. You want to make sure you get the last shot of the game.
They're looking to double Sprewell when he gets close. Allen Houston, an open three. Won't go. Weatherspoon tips it, and Cassell takes it away. Terrific play from Sam Cassell. Robinson, the open jumper. And a foul on Allen Houston, and Glenn Robinson will go to the line for 2 with 31 seconds remaining, and the Bucks down by a point.
Great job by Sam Cassell off the rebound, pressing it up the court. Not waiting to set something up, not trying to get into a set, but getting the ball in the open court and seeing who he can find. He found Glenn Robinson, and Houston right there just catches him on the wrist as he flies by.
Glenn Robinson has played 40 minutes in his first game in a month. Knocks it down. 35 points for Glenn Robinson. He'd missed 14 games with a thigh bruise, and what a return as he's tied it again.
I'd take another game off and just keep coming back if I could do this.
Robinson gives the Bucks their first lead since the first quarter. Timeout, New York. One of the most enjoyable NBA games I've seen in a long, long time. And we still have 31 seconds remaining and perhaps a third overtime ahead. Who knows?
Oh, this has been awesome. Awesome. What great individual performances. Glenn Robinson's first game back. Ray Allen, who had struggled early in the game, couldn't make a shot, ends up hitting the three-pointer and three three-pointers before that to put it in overtime. Then you get a second-year guy, Michael Redd, who hits a three-pointer to put it into the second overtime. Sprewell going off in the fourth quarter. Houston having 26 in the first half. Just some unbelievable performances in this game.
Again, Milwaukee was down 11 with about 3.5 to go in regulation. Came back and tied it. They were down 5 with 2.5 to go in the first overtime. Came back and tied it, and they trailed by 4 here in the second overtime, but have not backed down. Keep fighting back, and Glenn Robinson finally gives them the lead. Now timeouts remaining. The Bucks still have 2. The Knicks have 1. Fouls to give. Milwaukee has a foul to give, as there's 31 seconds left on the game clock, and obviously 24 on the shot clock. But the reason we're in overtime is because of the 2 3-pointers. This at the end of regulation. Ray Allen splitting the defenders and hit it with 0.5 of a second remaining. And then Michael Redd at the end of the first overtime. And as we said, inexplicable how the Knicks did not foul and force him just to take 2 free throws.
Well, especially the second one, Mike. The first one, maybe, you can use the excuse. It's open court play. He's coming down. You're not really sure what you want to accomplish. But the second one, off the inbound, with Camby fouling out, you have time to think about what you want to do. To even let him get off a 3 the second time, after they already did it to you once, is unexplainable.
Kurt Thomas comes back in. Shandon Anderson will sit down. Sam Cassell right now on the bench.
Well, that's because they want Michael Redd guarding Mike Jackson. They don't want Mark Jackson getting the ball on the right wing and dribbling and posting. Michael Redd's a bigger guy. They feel like he can handle him down low.
7-second difference between the shot and game clock. Allen Houston. They look for Sprewell. Sprewell with Darvin Ham. Shot clock down to 9. Sprewell wants to make the play. Sprewell makes the move, pulls back, fires, puts it in. Latrell Sprewell puts the Knicks back on top with 9.9 remaining. His 9th three-pointer of the game. and the Knicks lead by 2. 48 points for Latrell Sprewell.
He's just unreal. I'm not so sure if I'm Glenn Robinson, if I back off, and they had him double teamed, but that's just a jab step, and Darvin Ham has to respect that. So he respects that. He backs off. He didn't really back off. He thought he was driving. You see right there. Bolt, I mean, just a great jab. Jab, pull it back. And you saw earlier in the possession, Glenn Robinson, they had him double teamed, and he left him. I'm not so sure if I keep the double team and make him pass the ball.
Sprewell, meanwhile, time now with 48 points. 34 of them have come in the fourth quarter and the overtimes. He also has 7 boards, 6 assists, and he's doing it in front of friends and family. He had to get 70 tickets for today's game. He's a Milwaukee native. He's had some of his best games here at the Bradley Center, and he's adding this one to the collection.
I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, not only to be able to hit the 3, but be able to stop, squeak the sneakers, bring it back, pull up, and hit it. That's incredible.
That 9th three-pointer ties a Knicks team record for most threes in a game. John Starks once had 9 for the Knicks. The Knicks have hit 15 three-pointers as a team. Sprewell, meanwhile, he had a 49-point game in an overtime loss to the Boston Celtics, now a 48-point game. The 15 three-pointers also ties a Knicks team record for most threes in a game. But this one is far from over.
Now you decide whether you want to go for the win or maybe go for the tie and play another one. And you got 2 options, I think, right here. You get the ball into Cassell's hand, or maybe you try and get Glenn Robinson on a post-up against a guy like Anderson who he can handle down there.
Knicks this time with no fouls to give. Bucks will inbound the 28-foot line with 9.9 remaining. You'd expect him to look for Allen. Sprewell gets right up on him. Robinson sets the screen. Allen makes the move. Back to Robinson. Has a good look at it. Puts it in with 3.2 remaining. Glenn Robinson ties it up, and the Knicks will call timeout. Glenn Robinson, 38 points in his first game in a month. Welcome back, big dog.
Unbelievable. Big shot after big shot after big shot after big shot.
So the Knicks will inbound when we return. Second overtime in Milwaukee. 3.2 remaining. Bucks and Knicks all tied up. These two teams have played nearly 58 minutes, and it's still tied. Knicks will inbound. Bucks here have a foul to give with 3.2 remaining. That's very important now for Milwaukee. Jackson tries to get it in to Witherspoon. Witherspoon puts it up, and a foul call. Darvin Ham fouled him in the act of shooting. Ham again, a mental mistake, and Witherspoon will shoot 2.
And not even a foul going after the ball. He just pushed him in the chest.
You knew he had on his mind, it's obvious, a foul to give, but just the wrong time. As Witherspoon got the shot up, and Witherspoon will shoot a couple of free throws. Witherspoon, 82% from the line this season. This is his first free throw of the afternoon, and he knocks it down. Knicks by 1 with 1.9 remaining.
And mentally, that's where you got to be focused right there. You got to think to yourself, okay, we got a foul to give, but it's Clarence Witherspoon shooting the shot. Let's make him shoot the shot, see if he can win the game.
Bucks still have a timeout left, so if Witherspoon hits this, they can advance the ball to the front court. Witherspoon, 2 clutch free throws. And the Knicks up by 2 with 1.9 remaining. You know, Tom, we've had, as we said, some extraordinary individual performances, but there's also been some real key mental mistakes from both teams.
Yeah, well, certainly the threes that the Bucks got off to tie the game, and then that one right there. You have in your head, we have a foul to give, we have a foul to give, we have a foul to give. In that situation, though, you see who catches the ball, and it's Witherspoon. And it's clear he's going to take a shot. You don't even need to get up and necessarily challenge that shot like you would Sprewell or Houston. You let him make it. Let him take that shot. Because in essence, why would you foul anyway? Because then they could inbound and get it to Sprewell or Houston. So make him win the game.
Of course, the only reason we're in the second overtime, this was at the end of regulation. Knicks up 3. Ray Allen in the final second, 0.5 of a second, hit that one. Now at the end of overtime, Michael Redd nails that one to send it into the second overtime. And here's Latrell Sprewell with his 9th three-pointer of the game. Glenn Robinson comes right back to tie it. But then the mental mistake from Darvin Ham, and Clarence Witherspoon hits 2 free throws. Now you see both teams completely out of timeouts, and both teams in the penalty with 1.9 remaining. You see they're in the second quarter in Utah as the Kings leading the Jazz. That game coming up next. This is one of the most thrilling, heart-stopping games you can imagine, as the Knicks and Bucks have gone all out with some great individual performances.
Well, watch Ray Allen starting down on the block. See if they try to get a pick for him. You have enough time to catch and take a dribble now. You don't have to catch and immediately shoot the ball. You have almost 2 seconds.
They look for Allen. Shandon Anderson trying to deny. Mason looking to find somebody. Gets it to Michael Redd. Redd puts it up at the buzzer. No good. And the game comes to an end. The Knicks with a huge road win in just a thrilling, extraordinary game here at the Bradley Center. Redd had a pretty good look, but for once a big shot didn't go down for the Bucks, and they suffer their third straight loss at home, whereas the Knicks all of a sudden with a 3-game winning streak.
This is awesome, Mike. Are all the games like this? It's going to be great. I can't wait. And you watch Redd right there. Good job. Knows he has time to dribble. Leans in. Just off. Almost shocked.
Great win for the Knicks and Latrell Sprewell, who's standing by with Andrea Joyce.
All right, Mike Latrell, it looked like you were determined not to let your team lose. First of all, for you, how do you explain that offensive explosion that started in the fourth quarter?
It started late in the game. I hadn't really been shooting the ball that well, but late in the game I got going, hit like 3 or 4 threes in a row. And I'm a streaky shooter, so when I get going, I can just get on the roll.
You guys lost an 11-point lead late in the fourth quarter, battled through the first overtime, and then win it in the second. Is this a game the Knicks could have won a week ago?
Well, I mean, we were disappointed with the way we ended the game, no doubt about it. It was a horrible finish. We couldn't get the stops when we needed to, but the bottom line is Jack took over in that second overtime, gave me a little rest, and, guys stepped up and made plays when we had to.
You guys now have 3 wins in a row. What was it that helped you guys pull out of that 8-game losing streak? Was it anger, frustration, or embarrassment?
I think, we were really backed into a corner. No one really believed in us, and we just said, hey, we're going to try to stop this thing. And all it takes is one win, and the one we got against Toronto, I think, set it off. And right now, we're just, trying to keep the win streak going. 3
wins in a row. How things change in a week. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, back to you, Mike.
Thank you, Andrew. And after suffering through their longest losing streak in 15 years, the Knicks have turned it around with 3 straight wins led by Latrell Sprewell with 48 points. Just a spectacular game here at the Bradley Center. The final score in double overtime. The Knicks defeat the Bucks 129 to 127.